Hi everyone, Luke here from Figmento Films. A few days ago on my YouTube channel, I asked if there was any types of vlogs or tutorials people would like me to make. Someone asked me quite a big question, which was beginner's guide to editing, good apps and software equipment for homemade videos / YouTube channels. So that in itself is huge, and I won't be able to cover everything in one video, not without it being very long. So what I'll do instead is, in this video, we'll have a look about some of the basic kit you'll need into getting started with vlogging. So instead of making a crazy video, I figured everyone's probably at home, we're all stuck in due to the lockdown, and they probably just want to know quick and easy, how do you get started? So firstly, we'll start off with a camera. Now, it's the most obvious thing you're going to need. Best thing is, everyone's got a camera now. Most mobile phones are more than adequate to shoot decent video, especially if it's in the last few years. So the second thing you'll need is a microphone. Oh, and just to let you know, if you do want to go into more detail, then I would recommend getting a mirrorless or a DSLR camera. You're going to have more work cut out for you, but you're also going to have much more control over your whole creative process. Next, you're going to need sound. Now this is arguably the most important aspect. No one will watch a video with bad sound. It's as simple as that. However, people will sit through a video that doesn't look great as long as the sound is really good. So I've got quite a few mics. If you're doing, for most projects, I highly recommend investing in a Rode Wireless Go. Now, you've probably all seen TV shows, they clip the little mic onto, it's called a lapel mic, they clip it onto the tie, or a tie mic, or onto the shirt, and they put a little mic pack into their back pocket. That's what this is, but it's way easy to use. As we go along, I'm actually screen recording this, so you can just go along with me. So this is the Wireless Go, one of the best things I've ever bought. Now, there is another version, a bigger version called a Rode Kit, I believe. I've had that for years, but it's big, it's bulky, it's been dropped a million times, and I would wish I'd brought this before. That one is more powerful and it will last at a longer distance, but honestly, if you've got, say if you're using this on a job and you're filming someone who's conducting sort of like pieces to camera out on location, if they're more than 100 feet from you, you're probably doing something wrong. You shouldn't be losing signal. These are highly versatile, really small, they fit in the palm of your hand. It's also got a mic built in, so all you'd have to do with this is connect the little receiver onto your camera. You plug that into the headphone receiver. Then the other bit you can just clip onto your item of clothing. Nice rule of thumb is if you do this, pinky to thumb, that's kind of the location you want to put your lapel mic. Really cool thing about this as well, you can also plug in your own lapel mic, so you could put this one in a pocket and have your own lapel mic on as well. So versatile. If you're doing fitness videos, something like this is probably going to be a must. However, don't sit on it, because unfortunately it's not made out of metal, which I wish it was. Secondly, you've also got a Rode video mic. I've got the older model, the one we're looking at on screen now. Quite expensive. If you can find the older model like mine, you probably save a few quid. I've had this for years. It does the job. It does the job more than adequately. It's a fantastic mic. This sort of mic will sit on top of your camera, or if you're like me and you're a techie, filmy nerd, you can actually use those Rode Wireless Go's and turn this mic into a wireless mic, which is exactly what I'm doing at the moment. It is so cool. And this is because if I'm sitting down in front of a camera and I've got the option not to have a mic on me, I'd rather not, and that's because I don't want to, risk. You do all sorts of stuff, you're touching your jumper and scratching, you might just be rustling. You can avoid that just by taking the mic completely off you. If you're going to be doing vlogging where you're sitting down, highly recommend something like a Blue Yeti. I've got the Blue Yeti. I don't use it as much as I used to because I've got another type of mic as well. But this is fantastic. Sounds amazing. It's got lots of different sound options built into it. It's got like a bi-directional option on there. So if you're doing like a podcast and you want two of you to be talking, set it to bi-directional. It's amazing. Just put this straight into through your PC. So cool. Highly recommend something like this. So now we're going to look at lights. Lights are the next really important thing. You can get away with using natural light, you just have to be a bit more inventive. If you want to keep it super cheap, you can find a location in your house. This is literally my room, and the first thing I did was added a bit of diffuser paper to the window. You can find diffusing paper online, it's dead easy to find, and it's really inexpensive. Then if you just choose to shoot in the day, you can just stick your diffuser paper up and you've got nice soft light. You want to kind of get rid of harsh shadows. So there you go, you can start with some nice diffusing paper. Then if you want to add a light, if you're doing any beauty work, you're probably going to want to use one of these. It's a ring light, you've probably seen them all before. I recommend an LED one because they're very reliable. They're relatively inexpensive. Some of them even have phone holders in the middle. They'll put nice catch lights in your eyes. That's basically when you get a nice circular light on the inside of your eyes. So that's why a lot of beauty people like to use them. Creates a nice flat light, removing shadows from your face. Really recommend one of those. However, if you're doing anything else, especially if you're doing fitness, you're going to want a lighting kit, because you've got a big area that you want to fill with nice white light, providing you want to go for that clean look that a lot of fitness channels do go for. Fluorescent lighting kits can be picked up so cheaply now, it's ridiculous. I mean, they're cheap lights. You're not going to get Hollywood production out of it, but I mean, you don't need Hollywood production. This one here, £134, you get 4 lights. This is really, really good. If you're doing film and you want to look, this is a photography one. So I don't know if it's got continuous lights, but you want to make sure you look out that you've got continuous lights, so you don't get flicker in your image. Otherwise you get like a lot of, you'll get like these like almost like black bars continually flickering for your image. So you want to look for continuous fluorescent lighting kit. So at the back you've got all this reflective material. That all bounces out towards you. The light's in the middle, then you put this diffuser on. A diffuser will help take away those harsh shadows and give you that nice clean look. 2 lights is great, 3 lights is even better, because you can add a backlight and have a nice great separation between you and your background. These are really inexpensive, easily replaceable for the bulbs and that. They come with lighting stands as well. If you're doing a fitness video, recommend one of these. A nice tip as well, if you go for the 3 light one, is that you can have 2 lights facing you, so you've got nice even lighting on both sides, avoiding shadows. You could bounce 1 light up at the ceiling and all that light will hit the ceiling, travel back down and look nice and diffused. And then finally, what I've been using for like 5 years, because I was desperate at the time and I love these lights. It's these LED, it's Yongnuo, I don't know if I'm mispronouncing that. I've got this model here. They're LED lights. It's got an option, you can turn the brightness up and down. You can make the picture cooler or warmer, because it's got different LEDs in there. It's got built-in Bluetooth. Comes with a controller, so you can control it all remotely. And it's got gels as well that you can put in and out. It's even got these little handles so you can hold it. A gel is basically something that can change the colour of the light. You've got like an orange gel, blue gel, a pink gel, and a red gel, I think. Key thing is with these, again, the reviews don't reflect how useful they actually are, and I think it's another example of if you're buying inexpensively, then you might be a reflection of inexperience. Best thing to do with these LED lights is, because they're very bright and very harsh, is diffuse them. Easiest way to diffuse them is find some A4 paper and stick it on there. Okay, dead simple, dead cheap. If you want to take it up a bit, you can get proper diffusing paper, or if you're like to Frankenstein stuff together like me. Now I've got a photography kit, and I've got a flash, and that flash I needed to have some diffusion for, so I brought an umbrella. Now the cool thing is this light here has got what's called a cold shoe mount on. You'll have those on top of your camera, and many other things. It's just like looks like a little foot or a little shoe mount. And you can use these lights on that flash holder. So if I can find it, flash holder. Here we go. This is a 2-pack, $14.99, super cheap. At the top there, that's where you could fit those lights in. And then this little hole here, if you've ever been into a photography studio, you'll see those big white umbrellas or reflectors. You can put one of those through there. You can put a reflector or a shoot for umbrella, and that's exactly what I've done for this video. I've got a shoot for umbrella, an LED light, and it's just creating some nice soft light. I've also added diffusion to my window and diffusion to my back window as well, to make sure that the light is nice, soft and even, and I've avoided any harsh shadows. I think we're going to need a tripod next. Oh, and before I do move on, if you are going to go for advanced sound, I should also point out, you want to make sure you've got a camera with microphone input. Tripod, you can keep it dead simple. The personal one I use is a K&F tripod. It's this one here, it's $53.99. Monfrotto ones cost loads. This does everything a Monfrotto tripod would do. It's got a quick release plate, meaning you can pull it on and off the tripod really quickly. If you've got a mobile phone, you'll need an adapter, and there are tripods specifically for mobile phones as well. It's quite lightweight, it's quite tall as well. You can adjust all the legs, it's taller than me. It's got a middle stem which you can make even longer. You can take that stem out, flip it upside down and have it pointing towards your desk, so if you're doing any nails or anything technical, you've got your top down shot that you might see on a lot of videos. Dead simple to use. There are cheaper tripods as well, but this kind of hits the balance between functionality and sort of like performance. Really good tripod. So as far as filming goes, basically everything you need: camera or camera phone, mic, light and a tripod. Moving on though, I'm going to look at some editing software. I personally use Adobe Master Collection. It's about, I think it's 40 or 50 pounds a month. If you're a student now, you get a student discount, which is considerable discount. Master Collection comes with Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere Pro, lots and lots of really powerful software that you've all heard of, although it can be expensive if you're paying every single month. You can, this is more PC centric, although you can use it on a Mac. Most Apple Mac users are probably going to use Final Cut or iMovie. iMovie is free, Final Cut's more powerful, but it isn't free. Oh, and if you've got a mobile phone, coming over here, we've got, by Cyberlink, we've got Power Director. This starts at £3.75 a month. I've not used it on my PC. I was going to use it a long time ago, but this might be a really good and cheap alternative. The mobile version, if you want to edit from mobile, is fantastic, and I've used it many times when I've been out just making some travel vlogs. Reality is, a lot of the videos from big YouTubers that you see are probably going to be videoed and edited by outside sources, at least edited by outside sources. So don't worry about having your videos with all these crazy, amazing sort of Hollywood edits. What you should focus on is structure and then learning how to cut. So plan your shots in advance, and then when you drop them on your timeline in the editing program, it's quite easy to find where you're going to put your cuts. You can make some really simple graphics as well. My personal opinion is that if you're not great at doing graphics, then that simple's always the best way to go. You could also use Fiverr and that to pay for someone to make your graphics or to do your editing as well, but then you're going to be spending more. Moving on from that, you want to look at where you want your video to go. If you're going on to YouTube, I recommend just making a few changes where at the end you want like a 20-second end roll, where you can have recommendations to other videos. On Facebook, you're probably not going to need that, but you might want a call to action like don't forget to like this video. And I think that basically covers getting started. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comment below. If you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe. And yes, I will be back very soon for another tutorial. I'll catch you next time. See ya.